Welcome to Portable Class for Max program. Adverb, adverbial clauses, conditional, if clauses. Today we are going to talk about a type of adverbial clauses. It's called conditional. Now before we start, we need to know there are three types of conditionals. The first conditional, the second conditional, the third conditional. In the following lessons, you'll be introduced to all three different types of conditionals. But first, we will learn how to use the most simple one, and that is the first conditional. Before we start, let's compare these two examples. Linda has lost her wallet. She tells Susan, well, Linda said, I've lost my wallet. Have you seen it anywhere? Susan said, no, but if I find it, I will tell you. You can see the words in blue is the conditional. The first conditional that we talk about, you can see that if is followed by a present tense sentence, I find it, and the other half of the sentence is written in future tense. In this example, Susan feels there is a real possibility, a real chance that she will find the wallet. She thinks that it's possible that she will find the wallet in the future. So she says, if I find it, I will tell you. Now, second example. Josh says, if I found the wallet on the street, I would take it to the police station. This is the contraction of I would. This is the second condition, which is very different from the first one in structure. You can see that if is followed by a past tense sentence, not a present tense, and the other half of the sentence is written with I would and with the base verb and the stuff that you need to write about. This is a different type of situation. In this situation, Josh doesn't expect to find a wallet in the street. He is imagining a situation that will probably not happen. So he imagined that situation. If I found a wallet, just like if I had $1 million, which is not true, and possibly it's not like I'm going to have $1 million very soon. I'm just saying it hypothetically, 假设性的说法, and it's not true at the moment. So he imagined a situation that will probably not happen. So he says, if I found using past tense, I would, blah, blah, blah. First condition, here, and the second condition, here. All right? So let's talk about the first conditional. The first conditional is very easy. The first conditional, we use it to talk about something or a situation that might be true or happen in the future, just like the first example that we talked about. The meaning of if is very close to that of when. So take a look at the first example. If I find it, I will tell you. I can also say, when I find it, I will tell you. It's very similar. I use it to talk about something that will or maybe, possibly will happen in the future. So, what's the form of the conditional? If with the present tense and the future tense with will, may, or can. You can say I will, I may, or I can. The future tense, or you can switch places of these two parts of the sentence, but remember when you do that, the future tense with will, may, or can, if the present tense, but here you don't use it, you don't use a comma over here in between, before if. But for this one, can you see that? You need a comma over here. Let's look at the four examples down below and let's talk about what they mean. All right. Let's take a look at this. Let's make it bigger. All right, you can look at the four examples. Now first, let me read the examples to you. The first one said, if they return the book to me later, I will give it to you. It's like I will give the book to you if they return it to me later. Now you can see that if I write if clause second, then I don't need a comma over here. But if I write it here, then a comma here. Now, just like what we talked about, let me delete the second half of the sentence. This is what we call a dependent clause. If I just say, take away this part, I just say, if they return the book to me later, it sounds incomplete. It's like, what? So I'm waiting for something because the information itself, 这个讯息不完整. If I just say this part of the sentence. So this part is what we call the dependent clause. This is the dependent clause. And it's also called adverbial clauses. The red part is the adverbial clause that gives more information to the main clause, which is I will give it to you. So under this condition, 在这个条件之下, if they return a book to me later, I'll give it to you. So I actually think it's possible that they will return the book to me later. And when they do, I'll give it to you. That's what it means. The second one, look at the second example. This is the adverbial clause, the if clause, the first condition. If I shout in the classroom, I will be punished by my teacher. This is an adverbial clause. And this is the main clause. So if I do this, 如果我做这件事情, in the future, I will be punished by my teacher. Example number 3. If you get up earlier is adverbial clause, you can watch the sunrise, which is true. If you get up early enough, you can watch the sunrise. Adverbial clause, again, the main clause. If it goes out now, he may see the parade. So the parade is actually outside at the moment of speaking. So if it goes out now, right now, he may see the parade. The point is, we use present tense sentences. You can see in all 4 examples. After if we're using it as a first conditional, you can see that. Okay. For the second half of the sentence, you can use future tense with will. You can use with can or even with may to talk about something that is possible. So back to our lesson plan. We use the first conditional to talk about something or a situation that may be true or may happen in the future. And the meaning of if, similar, 非常像 that of when, but it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar to that of when. This is the first conditional.